Hey, good morning everybody. How you doing? We got some wind this morning, but we're still gonna make it through it there. We got October the 29th, 2025, Wednesday. I'm hoping there'll be nice waves along the lakefront because, yeah, there'll be some wind, but welcome to the Windy City. We know it's because of the politicians, but, you know, it works when we get the wind from the lake and the tall towers. But hey, about 50 degrees, we're right at about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. What is that, 10 degrees Celsius? And, not too bad, should be a sunny day. We'll try to catch the sunrise. I think it's around 7:15 to 7:20-ish. Hey, and really Julie Reed, good morning. Heather B. Della, how you doing? Good morning. Thanks for being up early here. Yeah, we're gonna go, my Aunt Della's tuning in. We'll go catch the sunrise. And hope you're doing well. We're on YouTube now, but I'm exploring, and we'll look into it. We'll talk more about it. I might start adding subscriber-only options for exclusive content on TikTok, and we'll wait till more people come in here, and we'll talk about that. Because, you know, with their new I feel severely limited with their new terms and conditions for the Creator Fund. I'll continue to get kicked out of the Creator Fund, and so I have to revise my strategy, and that's why my endless beef with TikTok. But hey, Selena, how you doing there? Yeah, good proxies. Good morning, David. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, how about the World Series? I guess the Blue Jays won last night there, 6-2. Chanel, how you doing there? Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. So yeah, let's head over to the lakefront, and we'll see if there's any waves, and that's great. So we'll go through the morning news and everything. I'll probably wait. I'll wait a few minutes here. I'll wait to 6:45. We'll run through the latest news here from the New York Times and the Chicago Tribune, and then we'll talk about the World Series. And then once more people join in, I'll talk about what I'm thinking about. We'll get people's feedback and see, because, you know, we got this platform here on YouTube. We got the platform on TikTok. It's good to have. And I guess maybe tomorrow there's going to be more information about Oracle and the American-centered TikTok, which is what we've been, you know, how long have we been in limbo with these deals and potential bans and on again, off again, on again, off again. Yeah, let's see who else is coming in here. Basto, yeah. You got insomnia? Yeah, up all night, sleep all day. Sometimes I do the same thing. I'll be wake up middle of the night. I'll just be scrolling and scrolling. Thanks for, we'll get you some nice Lake Michigan views and some sunrise action here. Miami T, how you doing there? Yeah, Miami, Julie Reed there, and really Julie Reed there. We got sisters in Texas and New Mexico. Samuel Jones, how you doing there? Yeah, it's pretty cool. 50 degrees. Here's the Della knows where we're at here. We're right by the North Pond. There's the North Pond. There's the Peggy Notebart. I got to renew my Peggy Notebart membership, so in the wintertime we can go in that winter garden, or the butterfly garden. There's the butterfly garden for the Peggy Notebart. I think hopefully until the end of the month, the Caldwell Lily Pool should still be open. Hey, there's a rat. Della, there's the rat's outside. That's good. Better outside than inside. I haven't seen it. Well, I was trying to catch a rat in my place. I got some crappy rat traps. They didn't catch anything. They just licked the peanut butter and ran off. They know what they're doing. But I haven't seen them much lately, so we'll disadvantages of living on the ground floor. Chris, how you doing there? Yeah, Lambie T there. What was I going to tell Chris? Something about... Oh, I think they were doing. Oh, I need to cut out that footage. I can't believe I got so much content. I think last week we were walking along the river walk, and there was a humane society for the pets. They were having a promotion. We shook hands with the little dogs there that they were trying to get people to adopt and rescue. Busted dog out of prison, and I said, I thought of you, and I said, Chris has busted many dogs out of doggy prison there, including Maddie there, and that's a good go to the shelter there. It's often we walk by the Humane Society there on the South Street in Clark. No, it's LaSalle and Wells. It's between LaSalle and Wells there, the river north. Hey, Angie Love there, Naya Papaya there. How you doing? Yeah, but we're heading towards the lakefront. I'm just going to walk in on the lakefront. We're going to have some wind. I know people will be like, can't hear you. I'm like, well, turn the volume down. You can listen to Morning Joe there and over top of me. Here, what do we got here? People selling furniture, jet ski. So here we'll cross. I think people are making a left here. The car's got. I jumped the light, and then someone was making a right trying to get in front of the person making the left, and the person making the left had the light, and I screwed it all up by trying to beat the light. And it's because people come off of Lakeshore Drive, they want to make that right, and they it's the continuous Chicago stop where you just kind of roll through the intersection. Everybody does it. I do it too. You end up, that's how you go through stop signs in Chicago. But hey, we got 6:46 in the a.m. Chicago, Illinois. We're heading towards Lake Michigan at Fullerton. I'm in Lincoln Park. Here's where I live. This is my commute to work. And we'll walk in the next hour, probably till 8 o'clock. We'll be walking towards that. We'll see the skyline here in a second. We'll head towards the John Hancock. We'll check the headlines, and we'll see what's happening in the world here. I'll try to give people something to discuss when we're doing our live stream here. There we go. So here's your top stories. Let's do the skyline here. That's where we're heading there. We're going to head towards at John Hancock right there. We're going to walk along the lakefront, head towards downtown Chicago. Here's Percy Harbor. Look at the beautiful housing here. This is Lincoln Park and Lakeview. And look at that gradient of the sun there. Let's head towards there. So hey, these are from the New York Times, and then I'll go to the Chicago Tribune. And if anybody says, New York Times is biased mainstream media, well, Chicago Tribune is a Republican leading newspaper, so I read a Democratic leading newspaper, the New York Times, and then I read a Republican leading newspaper, the Chicago Tribune. So, and it's all mainstream media. It's all bought by, probably all owned by Jeff Bezos. That's the Washington Post. But here's, in Utah, Trump's vision for homelessness begins to take shape. That's one of the head stories of the New York Times. Trump suggests he knows he can't run again. He goes, it's too bad. I heard a rumor. This is just a rumor. There's always rumors on social media, as we know. Most of it's conspiracy theories. Don't take this with a grain of salt. I know it's very windy on this. We're in a wind tunnel here. We're in the wind tunnel underneath Lakeshore Drive. The wind's coming off the lake here, so once we get through here. But this is all speculation. This is probably just Banning. It's probably just Steve Bannon owning the libs and doing his master trolling. Somebody alluded that Trump could be vice president under J.D. Vance and still, shadow run the government as a VP, because there's nothing against a president running again as VP, which I don't know about that. We'll look into that. And, there's no guarantee. It's just funny that people were talking about that. And that's what Vladimir Putin did in Russia. There was another guy that was president briefly in the early 2000s, and he was vice president or vice premier, whatever. And everybody knew Putin still was running the government. It was just to get around the law. And we don't think this is going to happen. I'm just reacting to an article here in the New York Times. So here, federal judge disqualifies Trump-backed prosecutor in Los Angeles. So the battle between the judges continues. Senate votes to end Trump's Brazil tariffs. Yeah, there was major heated discussions there yesterday because the government's still shut down, and we gave $20 to $40 billion in aid to Argentina after we cut off U.S. aid, and then SNAP benefits are going to end November 1st unless the shutdown will probably waiting until after the elections. Wow, look at the waves. We got amazing waves breaking here. It's going to be windy. It's going to be hard to hear me, but it adds to the authenticity of the wind here along the Lakefront, Chicago. So here comes a bike here, so we'll let the bike go through this right. Listen here, and the good thing I try to do the same thing. Have a headlight. I got in my backpack some strappable headlights that you can put on your helmet. But hey, it's very windy here. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Lake Michigan. We got some waves. You might get wet. Look at that, yeah. So I'm going to stay in the grass here because it's all muddy and wet, even way up here. The wetness from the waves goes way back here, so we might get wet here. Look at the ocean. It's not ocean spray, it's lake spray. Here's Lake Michigan. Yeah, look at this. So, look at that line of clouds. We'll see if the sun should rise south of that water intake crib. I'm going to try to just capture the waves here. There's a lot of spray and stuff. I would walk closer, but we're going to get wet because it blows up the spray and all this grass. My feet are wet here because it's all like mushy wet. I want to go closer. Oh, look at that. Wow. Oh, see how much the spray came all the way over here. The spray came all the way over from the waves breaking against the break wall here. Germany, how you doing there, Regina? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I saw some messages from Demishi. We followed Demishi. He's taking a break from live streaming because, you know, it takes a lot of time. His wife is a cancer survivor. He got her through that. Helped support her through that. She's in recovery. But Demishi produces great content in a Bavarian Alps there in southern Germany. There's probably other people. Is there any live streamers in Berlin? That would be amazing. Or even like, oh, see, I got to wipe down the camera here. My camera got wet, so let's wipe down the camera here. And did I get it? Hey, look at that beautiful skyline of Chicago. I know we got wind. We'll head on into 14th Avenue. We'll have nice, pretty waves. The problem will be hard to hear me, but that's okay. We did this on Monday. Now it's Wednesday. So, hey, welcome to Chicago, October the 29th, 2025. We're heading over here. We got some waves. Makes for a dramatic start to the day, doesn't it? There might be a bridge lift today, so at noon, we'll try to do a bridge lift there on the Chicago River. We got it last Wednesday. It's just something that's going on today. No big deal. Hey, people are jogging on the, we're up by Fullerton. We're up by Fullerton, and Lincoln Park Zoo is right over there. Yeah, Mylene, how you doing there? Great. T-Line, T-Time, yeah, thanks for joining us there. Della. Yeah, the sunrise looks beautiful, Della. Look, yeah, I think the sun's supposed to rise about 7:17, is that right? 7:19? What time we got here? We got 6:54. So in about 15 minutes or so, we should be down towards the nice view by the chess pavilion. We'll try to get the sunrise here. So hey, let's before we get to 7 o'clock, we'll talk about this is me just thinking out loud, a trial bubble to get people's reaction, because I know the vast majority of you came across my content on TikTok. I'm streaming exclusively on YouTube now. I started it even when my Aunt Della was here in September. We started making the transition to streaming full-time on YouTube, which is what I do now. I like the positives of YouTube because I like that you can watch the full reruns recorded there in the live tab. It comes most of your archives. Eventually on TikTok, after a month, your full live reruns go away and you lose access. They delete it from your servers. So that's a positive. The reasons I got away from TikTok is they kicked me out of the Creator Fund. They changed the terms and conditions, and it's gonna be really hard for me. The way I post content, I'll continually be kicked out of the Creator Fund, and it's not because of a political thing. It's because they don't like, when I do the music videos and stuff. They say that's low quality content because I think that their lawyers are worried about, people being sued for me using music videos over, and that they the same thing. You got the minute-long clips. I don't know how they get away with even using as much copyrighted content as they do with a minute content, but that's how the whole app started, with people dancing and lip-syncing to viral music. And it's still a great way to discover music. I discovered music on TikTok as well. So my solution is, I'm thinking, I still have a presence on TikTok. I don't want to lose that. We're growing our presence on YouTube. I want to facilitate that and complement that. So I'm thinking of using TikTok as my subscriber-only VIP space for exclusive content. We can still go live on TikTok, but if I go live on TikTok, it'll be for special cultural events like the Christmas parade or the lighting of the Christmas tree, or we can still do it on YouTube and we can do it on TikTok. But if I go live on TikTok, I'll make it subscriber only. We tried this last year during the DNC. Another reason I like YouTube is I'm starting to do podcast reruns of like right now. You can listen to me because I run this like a radio station. You can go to the podcast tab on my YouTube. I know it's very windy. People will be like, I'm not going to listen to a podcast with wind, but it's not windy every day. Yesterday we had some reruns where there's no wind, and I can invest in special mics to cut this out. I'm not doing that yet. I like the wind. When I listen to the reruns, you can still hear me talk. People just give me feedback that it's annoying, but life is annoying. I'm annoying. We're going to have to deal with some wind. So, because I'm dealing with it right now. We walk in the wintertime. There's wind in the wintertime. I walk in the cold. You can stay all nice and warm in your bed and watch and don't have to get out, and I'll show you the weather conditions here in Chicago. So give me your feedback if you think, because I know a lot of you are still on TikTok, some of you are only on YouTube. I'll just stick to these two platforms. They're the largest platforms for vertical content, besides Instagram. And Instagram doesn't pay crap. I'm not doing this to get paid. I'm just doing this. I like the subscriber-only options for lives on TikTok because it eliminates the trolls. And even if a troll pays for the subscription, we can still block them. Wouldn't that be amazing for a troll to pay for my subscription and then get blocked, and then they have to cancel their subscription? I would love that to happen, and it probably will happen. So, hey, thanks for your feedback here. Hey, Margie, the cat's dancing on your head. That's nice, Margie. See, that's nice. Got a little cat there. Yeah, New Zealand's tuning in there. Little Cup of Joe. Yeah, nice lake here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Yeah, it's Lake Michigan. So if you just joined here in Chicago, here's the shores of Lake Michigan, and we'll cross this barrier. We'll walk along the beach here and we'll check out the waves here. So hey, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Chicago. We'll catch the sunrise here. Yeah, but T-Live, I'm okay with taking the troll's money. Isn't that amazing? Imagine a troll would pay me to troll me. I'll be like, okay, it'd be like comical. We'll have the discussion. That would be hilarious. I'd be like, you're paying to troll me. That's my goal. If I can get 100 trolls, that could be a lot of money. Look at that wave coming in there. Hey, welcome to Chicago. This is Lake Michigan. We're at North Avenue Beach. We're kind of in between North Avenue and Fullerton. waves. And so we're going to head across. We'll head across the erosion sandbags here. And we'll see if I can find a place I can climb down here. Hold on 1 second here. There we go. Yeah, we made it. Hey, there's a buoy washing up here. Hey, this is North Avenue Beach, that's Chicago. Here, we'll check the headlines. 7 o'clock on the dot. Let's check the headlines here. Okay. So let's go to the Chicago Tribune. Let's switch to the Chicago Tribune. Let's see what's happening here. So, good morning. This is October the 29th, 2025. Here's your news update from the Chicago Tribune. We got 7 o'clock on the dot, Chicago Central Time. We got 50 degrees and winds. We're at North Avenue Beach here. We're heading to work too. So, Chicago Tribune. Illinois House Democrats introduce new transit funding plan. Billionaire and entertainment taxes. So, their solution to transit funding is to have more taxes for the billionaires and for entertainment taxes. So that'll be for tourism. And tourism was up this year, so the hotels, there'll be probably more hotel taxes and things like that. So the Border Patrol boss, his name is Bavino. He was ordered to meet with the judge. There was footage of him yesterday getting into the car and doing a salute. It kind of looked racist to me, but that's just my opinion. The judge orders Border Patrol boss Bavino to report the use of force. The local judges they're trying to limit ICE's ability to use tear gas on U.S. citizens and kids in Halloween costumes, and we saw the. It's just funny that it happened in Lakeview and Lincoln Park. We have images of white Americans, U.S. citizens with kids mothers yelling at ICE, and them deploying tear gas because they're so scared and intimidated with their guns of mothers with their Halloween costumes there, and they slamming people to the ground in front of the kids. The kids are crying. Yeah, so I'll let you say what you want about that. So here, let's see. Students, this is from the Chicago Tribune. Headlines from the Chicago Tribune here, October the 29th, 2025. Students walk out of Little Village schools, hold march to protest recent ICE activity. See, kids in high schools are protesting ICE. This is interesting. U.S. citizens. Talking about the Bears. Can Caleb Williams be counted on the breakthrough on the second quarterback flourishing? Yeah. So we'll see. There's still questions about the Bears. Oh, the Grand Park Music Festival steps down. Paul Weinberg, he steps down. So we saw that guy. Remember we used to film at the band shell there at Millennium Park. We filmed the symphony there in the summer. The guy that conducts that, we have footage of him. He's stepping down. Chicago Bears head coach Ben Johnson sells home in suburban Detroit for $1.1 million. Kevin, are you listening there? That the Bears, he used to live in Detroit there. So yeah, Ben Johnson used to be a coordinator for Detroit Lions, and so he sold his house for $1.1 million. And I guess he'll probably buy. I'm sure he already has real estate here. I don't know where he lives in Chicago. So hurricane. Let's see if we can find some information about Hurricane Melissa. Hurricane Melissa's affecting Jamaica. It's pretty bad. Israeli strikes in Gaza killed at least 100. Man, so there's supposedly a ceasefire, and Israel killed 100 people in Gaza. That doesn't sound like a ceasefire to me. South Korea says it has an agreement with the U.S. on tariffs. This is from the New York Times. I switched back to the New York Times because I'm looking for, here, I found an article about Hurricane Melissa. It was way down. It was like the 10th article. Hurricane Melissa is destroying Jamaica, and it's like the 10th article. Hurricane Melissa makes landfall in Cuba after thrashing Jamaica. So here, let's talk about Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. The storm caused widespread damage in Jamaica to infrastructure. Cuba evacuated about 750,000 people. Hey, welcome to Chicago, welcome to Lake Michigan here. We're walking to work here on October the 29th, 2025. We got seagulls, we got some wind. I know it's hard to hear. So maybe I'll just stop talking, I'll let you listen to the waves here. We'll talk about Hurricane Melissa after the sunrise here. Once we get to Lake Michigan, it'll be less windy. Hey, thanks for tuning in here. Yeah. I'm gonna do this Gemini silent for like the next 5 minutes here. That's a dead seagull that washed up on the shore there. Toronto's tuning in. Hey, that's good. Yeah, you got a nice Great Lake over there, Ontario. Seagulls getting blown around. That seagull took off like a kite. Here's your daily dose of Lake Michigan wind here. We got 50 degrees here, North Avenue Beach, Chicago, Illinois. We have 7:07 in the AM. We're going to catch the sunrise in about 10 minutes. It should rise over in that direction. We got a beautiful gradient of the sky. Thanks for tuning in here. I'll go silent again for about a minute here so you can listen to the waves here, North Avenue Beach, Chicago, Illinois. Wednesday, October the 29th, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. There's the dog we saw on Monday. She's got 2 tennis balls she throws at him. And her, the dog, I don't know if it's a male or female dog. And it loves burying digs holes and then it runs and it repeats over and over. That dog just loves chasing that ball and digging a hole. And then look, it's doing it again. That's her. We pass them a lot. She does this most mornings. She comes out here with the dog and the dog digs the holes there. Isn't that great? Hey, there's a seagull. Look at that seagull just hovering there. Look at it just hovering there, just floating on the, look at it, just like a helicopter, like an osprey just landed. How you doing there, seagull? I'm not coming to get you there. Yeah, what do you think? Look at that. Yeah. There's the dog. There's the guy. See, do your own thing in your own time. Just enjoy the morning, start the day off. doing there, Willow? RGR, Justin. Melbourne, good day. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in from Australia. This is the Lake Michigan in Chicago. We're about to catch the sunrise. So you're already later in the day. You're already probably evening time. That's good. A lot of times in the evening, I'll be walking home from work, live streaming, and people from Australia will tune in. It's already the next day. It's already, well, like today, it's Wednesday, it'll be Thursday. You're living in the future. Hey, I posted there was the nice British couple. There's that recently visited Chicago. They said all these people said, don't come to Chicago. The crime's horrible. ICE is everywhere. They're harassing tourists. Don't come to Chicago. And they came to Chicago. They had a great time. They said they didn't feel unsafe once. They were expecting to. And I went and asked them, I said, was everybody telling you not to come to Chicago? Were they American? Because, you know, as we discover, if there's somebody bashing Chicago, it's America. And, you know, dislike their big cities. But same with my relatives. You don't have to like a politics area. Most of my relatives really enjoy going to Chicago. I enjoy when they visit. And that's a good testimony. My dad still does. There's many things about the city my dad doesn't like. Because cities are annoying. Traffic, he worries about the crime, he worries about how expensive everything is. He still generally has a good time. And he said he would never come here if I didn't move here. He would avoid Chicago. Because, you know, I understand that. Most people are the same way. You know, why are you going to deal with the traffic and the high cost of everything? People are very city. But we don't want to lose our international tourists. Because you have a good time. Come here, and that's why I posted those British. Somebody gave them tickets to water taxi or a architectural tour. They were amazing. The architecture goes right down to the water. And that's what we do. We'll do that at lunchtime. We'll go check out the bridge lift there. That's in Chicago here. We're about to catch the sunrise here, October the 29th, 2025. North Avenue Beach. Yeah, that wind was getting to me too. The steady wind off the Lake Michigan with the waves. The waves were beautiful. The spray from the waves was hitting me 20 feet away. You know, now we're down towards North Avenue by Castaways here. And we'll have this beautiful skyline view as we head down the concrete beach here. We should catch the sunrise here in a few minutes. Yeah, 49 degrees. There, can you hear me now? It's cooler in Texas. 48 degrees. You got 48 degrees in the Fort Worth area. Wow, you're same as Chicago. Yeah, it's getting colder at night. You'll probably get warmer than we will during the day. We'll probably only get up to 55. Here's some people taking pictures here. Yeah, the waves, they got to stand back because they're probably getting wet if they go up to that rail. Every once in a while, a wave breaks up and sprays. So, hey, welcome to Chicago. Welcome to North Avenue Beach. We got 7:13 in the a.m. We're walking to work. Isn't that much better? I know that wind gets annoying. And if you didn't like the sound of it, imagine how it felt. But hey, I was happy to do it there. Look at it. Look how angry the lake is. How you doing? Hey guys. There's John Hancock, Gold Coast. We'll head over to Michigan Avenue. I'm heading to work. There, we're gonna catch the sunrise. Yeah, here's the waves breaking against the break wall here. Anything under 80, yeah, natural air conditioning. Yeah, you've had a long, hot summer there, Julie. You deserve a break. It gets so hot in Texas. But hey, we're in Chicago. We're heading towards Michigan Avenue. There's Navy Pier. Yeah, in a few minutes we'll get that sunrise here. I'm going to do a photo op here. Wes, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in there. Adjust your focus. Yeah, see the sunrise here. I'm going to try to get over there by the chess pavilion. So we're kind of walking away from the sun, but I got a few minutes to about the rise right there. Justin, how you doing there? Justin Dunn. Yeah, I'm Mr. Van Driesen from Beavis and Butthead. Hey, thanks. That's good. I'm a cartoon character. At least I wasn't Beavis or Butthead. I think. Thank you. That's good. Some people think I'm Tom Hanks' brother, Bob Hanks. I think my voice reminds me of some. Some people said Norm Macdonald or some comedians or stuff, which I appreciate that. I'm not as funny as they are. Be like, Norm, yeah, Norm was from Canada, so maybe that's why we have, I live too far north in the United States. Chicago doesn't have a Canadian accent, but it's similar. Same with Minnesota and even Alaska, they're kind of closer to Canada's accent, but we don't say A in a boot. Get what I'm saying? Here's, yeah, look at the waves here. Wow, let's focus on this beautiful skyline here in Chicago. We got 49 degrees, about 50 degrees here in Chicago. We got strong winds and waves this morning here, October the 29th, 2025. We're by the Chess Pavilion, North Avenue Beach, heading to work. We got 7:16 a.m. We're about to catch the sunrise. So if you want to see the sunrise, stick on here. I'll stay focused right over there. We'll catch the sunrise for your Wednesday in Chicago. What a great way to start the day here. Head over this way. So yeah, I'm exploring doing a subscription only option. We'll make TikTok the VIP. I'll still post some content there because TikTok's good for some things, YouTube's good for other things. I like live streaming on YouTube. I feel I have more freedom and less restrictions on YouTube. I like that YouTube saves the full rerun, so if you miss one, you can watch the full thing without waiting for me to edit the clips. And we're converting this to a podcast. Some of it, I'll probably edit the podcast better to cut out the empty space and the wind. And we'll find a way to parse up all this content and get it to you in different formats. And the reason I want to do sub only is not that I'm trying to get people to pay for subscriptions. It's just a way for me to have more control. I'm eligible to rejoin the Creator Fund. They gave me a month penalty. I post so much content, I'll lose my Creator Fund access again. I'll just keep losing it over and over. So why should I rejoin? So that's why I'm looking. TikTok has improved their subscriber. More of the money of the subscription is going to get to me. So that's what I was waiting for. 70 to 90% to get to me. So hey, let's watch the sunrise here. Let's get the camera straight here. So hey, welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Lake Michigan. We're about to see the sunrise here. And so I'm trying to get a close-up view of the horizon. You see where we're at? We're by the Chess Pavilion, North Avenue Beach. See, there's the Chess Pavilion right up there. And we're about to catch the sunrise here. So I'll zoom in and we'll see if we get it. The first rays of the sun for October. Oh, I'm getting wet. I got to get up here. I have to get up on this extra step. He was laughing at me. He saw me run for the, my foot got wet. But here, we'll do the sunrise here. There it is. Isn't it funny? It looks like it's going to come there, and then it'll pop up somewhere else. It's so funny. Like many times I've gotten up early to see the sunrise or stayed up all night, and so many times it pops up in a different location than when you think it is. It looks like it's going to pop up there, but it might be just catching a cloud there. But here, 7:19. Let's see if we catch the sunrise here. We'll get the first rays of the sun. See, look at the water breaking up here. It went all the way up to where I'm at here. Look at that. Hey, there's Chicago. We're gonna catch the sunrise here. 7:19. Yeah, it's cold. Okay, good morning. Hey, he's talking. He said good morning there. That's good. He's saying, there it is. There's your first. Wow, look at that giant geyser, that rogue wave there. Here we got the sunrise. First rays of the sun here in Chicago. October the 29th, 2025. We got 7:19 in the AM, Lake Michigan. Yeah, look at that. Hey, Lambie, look at that. There's the sunrise. We got it here. So we got clear shot to the horizon here. Isn't that nice? Look at the waves, yeah. So here. Look how angry it is here. Wait till we get to Oak Street Beach. Here, we'll head along here. we'll walk along here, and I'll stick close to the edge in case I have to run up here. But there's your sunrise. A lot of people greeting the sun here, and stopping here to take a photo. Here, I'll get back up here. This extra little 6 inches helps out a lot. There's your sunrise. Okay, so let me switch hands here, and we'll head on into work here. Hey, the World Series, the Toronto Blue Jays defeated the LA Dodgers there 6-2. They scored 4 runs in the middle innings there, and they were able to hang on. I think the Dodgers scored a late run in the bottom of the 9th, but it wasn't enough. And so the World Series is tied now. Toronto's won 2 games. LA's won 2 games. And they're at least forced to game 6. They got to play at least 2 more, maybe 3. Maybe it'll go to game 7. It's a very competitive World Series, which is interesting. The game yesterday went to 18 innings. They were able to finish it in 9. So we got a good World Series there. And we'll keep you posted as things progress there. I think they're going to take. I don't think they play again tonight. We'll check to see when they play again next. So here, let's go to ESPN here. We'll check some of the scores. We'll see if any local teams. I gotta see when the Chicago Fire play next year. Hold on a second here, or if they already played here. Hold on a second here. So here, let's switch to ESPN here. So hey, Blue Jays take game 4 to even the World Series, tied 2-2. This is from the ESPN there. Let's see. Let's go to soccer. Let's go to soccer here. Why all 16 playoff teams will and won't win a Major League Soccer Cup? I don't know what that is. Let's go to the scores here. Oh man, see, I'm gonna get wet. I have to walk up here, so we're gonna have to walk on the jogging path. And even this is getting wet. You see how the water's coming up on the People always run the wrong direction. It cracks me up because of the waves. See, I don't want to walk in the bike path here. So here's your NBA scoreboard for Tuesday, October the 28th there. The 76ers won. I'm just going to look for the Bulls here. So I don't think they played last night. Yeah, the Bulls beat the Magic on Saturday. I think they play tonight. Do they play tonight? Let's see. Wednesday. Yeah, the Bulls play the Kings tonight. So the Chicago Bulls play the Kings tonight, 7 o'clock. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to hockey here. See how the Blackhawks did here. This is good for me because it makes me pay attention to what's going on here with the scores. Because if people ask me, I need to know. NHL scores. Whoa, here it is. We're getting wet. We're getting wet. How you doing? We're getting wet here. There's your sunrise there. Wow. Wow, the Blackhawks beat the Senators 7-3. So the Blackhawks, let's see how they're doing here. Blackhawks won 5 games. They lost 3. They beat Ottawa there, the Ottawa Senators 7-3. So there's your hockey scores. Look at this floaty thing. It's like a something for the boat there. Hey, if you just joined here, we're in Chicago. We're on the shores of Lake Michigan. We're heading to work here on a Wednesday here. We got beautiful waves. We're going to go to Oak Street Beach. We'll catch the waves breaking there. We're going to head to work. We'll walk down Michigan Avenue. Thanks for tuning in here. And we're having a good day here. Good morning there, Volker. How you doing there? Wes, Eric? Yeah. Everything's dangerous. If I walk a cat, somebody says it's dangerous. If I cross the street, if somebody says it's dangerous. It's dangerous to walk by the waves. I might get sucked into the lake. A car might flip off of Lakeshore Drive and hit me in the head. You know, I might get accosted by pigeons. You know, a lot of things can happen. I know this is the big bad city, but thanks for your concern. I appreciate it. Hey, look at the beautiful waves here breaking against Lakeshore Drive. Look at this. Watch out. See, I could have been hit behind by a public works park district worker. Watch out. Look out. But here's the Gold Coast. Here's the Gold Coast, Chicago. Potter Palmer had his mansion right there with the Honore. There's some of the last housing that remains there. That's usually what we do. We've been checking out Halloween decorations. I posted some reruns there. As I said before, I'm exploring using TikTok as a VIP subscriber-only space for exclusive content, and then we can still go live there. I'll do sub-only chats where I can go live on TikTok and do a sub-only like we did for the DNC last year. So if you subscribe, you can make a comment. There won't be much comments, but I can do the whole live stream without comments. You know that. And people that don't subscribe will still be able to watch my live streams. They'll complain because they'll want to comment, but it'll be a way to eliminate a lot of the negative comments we get. And that helps me out. That helps you out. You don't want to see it. Helps my moderators out. My moderators will still be needed to make the chat and answer questions, and then they can pin stuff. That's one thing about TikTok, is that my moderators can pin stuff, so I miss something, you know, and they can, and then I can reply to stuff, and it'll be a more orderly chat, which is what we want. I'll still continue to use YouTube as my primary live streaming vehicle. I like YouTube for that because the full reruns get recorded. Go to the live tab. You can, if you miss one, you can watch it. I got so much content, and then it'll be stored on YouTube servers that I trust more. And not that I trust YouTube, but it's all relative. Look at these waves. We've been seeing these waves here, and we'll head along Oak Street Beach here, and we'll get you some views of the waves breaking against the sandy beach here. We're down by Oak Street here. We just passed Division. There's the underpass that goes to Division. We went down Astor Street last night. If you missed it, you can watch the full rerun. We saw some more Halloween decorations that we didn't see. Some new ones that were put up. We also, and thankfully I didn't capture an image, we ran into Jennifer You Should Eat, which is great. She snuck behind me. We were in the Old Town Triangle, and I heard her laughing behind me because she knew it was me because of my loud voice, and people probably hear me a mile away when I talk and walk through there. And she's like, he doesn't even know I'm behind. Well, I caught her, and then she skedaddled. She got out of there because she was, you know, I didn't want to like put the camera in her face, which I wouldn't do that. I want to respect her wishes, and I commend that. That's probably a smart thing to do. So here we'll head over to Oak Street Beach here. We'll walk down Michigan Avenue. Thanks for dealing with the wind before. I know it was really windy when we were further north at the North Avenue Beach. Thankfully the wind's not as strong here, so you can probably hear me better, and we can show the surf here. Surf's up here, Lake Michigan. We caught the sunrise. There it is. And thanks for tuning in for that. And we'll continue to head down here, and we'll head towards Lake Michigan here. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Hope good morning here. I hope everybody's doing good. Let's head around here. D. Michael, how you doing there? Jim B. Gabby. Tense Prince. I don't know if Chris is still on. Look at these pigeons. We could do an experiment, Chris. Like I could just like mention the word ice, and we'll see if we get like 500 trolls in here all of a sudden, because the algorithm will start pushing against people that want to have a political debate. Do you notice, like, the past few times when I start talking about politics, that's when we get, like, amazing amount of people in the chat, and usually it's people reacting to what I say and the opposite. And isn't it? And when I don't talk about it, you know, it's a snooze fest. It's this. It's just me looking at the lake and me just having a happy morning here, giving shout outs to people, which is fine. I'd rather have this. This is much better. So I'll it just cracks me up. Hey, welcome to Oak Street Beach here. Hey, there's the cute dog there. He's got the ball. Or she's got the ball. Look at the... Yeah, there, that ball's bigger than that dog. How you doing there? Good morning. Yeah, I like your ball there. How you doing? Good morning. It's good. Yeah. Seagulls are liking it. They're riding the wind here. Now, I know it's windy. Welcome to the Windy City here. Wind coming out of our politician's mouth. Oh, I'm going to get wet. There's Navy Pier. Here's the, we're going to head right over there. There, let's head over here. It's blowing the sand. The sand's blowing across. It's like a sandstorm here. We're going to lose all our sand. It's going to blow into the city. Yeah, I don't need to talk about politics. It is refreshing not to talk about politics for one morning. I'll give everybody a break. I think nobody's going to change anybody's mind. We all are dug into our positions, and that's good. You know, it's just, we'll agree to disagree. We'll just span time here. So I'm heading to work here. We'll get to Michigan Avenue. Yeah, they got the red flag. Look at the surf here. Look at that. Let's zoom in there. Look at that. Morris, how you doing there? Yeah, nice relaxing place here. Look at that. Lovely morning. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going our way. Hey, there's my shadow. Hey, it's me and my shadow. Look at that. Woo! We'll do the Mighty Python Department of Funny Walks. I'm so easily amused. Look at the surf here. Look at whispers here. See, hold on. Yeah, you can see over to Navy Pier, the kind of that way. There's the curve of Lakeshore Drive. There's your sunrise there. Look at that surf. Krautland, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, welcome to Chicago. So we're right across here. It's me and my shadow. Me and my shadow. Hey, the dog. Hey, they're just watching the waves here. You can sit right here, just watch the waves. This is what you do. Look at that, yeah. Guten Tag. Yeah. Yeah, being happy. I'm not happy, I'm just crazy. Sometimes you have to lose your mind to be happy. It's like talking heads. I just show what the messages are on the wall. I didn't create that, but we show the world as it is, not as we want it to be. Hey, look at the giant mouth. Go to the dental office there. What's this green clouds here? Here's this crazy, nice looking faces here. Hey, we're tied up in knots here. Here's, yeah, nice butterfly. But here, we'll head under DeSable Lakeshore Drive here. Welcome to Chicago. Isn't it nice to take a break from the wind? Yeah, we covered the marathon there. Thanks everybody who watched the marathon. I guess the New York Marathon's coming up. Take it easy there, yeah. Chilling. Yeah, what's shaking here? So hey, let's head up Michigan Avenue. We'll head towards the river here. We do this every day. And thanks for tuning in here. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. So here, let's check the Wall Street Journal. I didn't check the Wall Street Journal's headlines here, so hold on a second. Let me get the second phone going and I'll snap it. I got a little holder. I can snap it in the bottom of my gimbal. And we'll see how it works here. But hey, World Series. Let's see here. Let's go to the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal, your headlines for October the 27th here, 2020. So this will give me something to talk about as we go past the gleaming towers of corporate America. Eventually we'll get to it here. So lead story from the Wall Street Journal here, October the 29th, 2025. We got 7:34 in the AM, 49 degrees, Chicago, Illinois. We're going to walk down Michigan Avenue. This is Oak Street Beach. So tens of thousands of white-collar jobs are vanishing as AI tens of thousands of white-collar jobs are being, people are being let go because of AI is replacing their job. And that's what I said. I understand America's concern about people worried about migrants taking their jobs or Social Security or stuff. AI will be much more disruptive to people's jobs, and it even affects people that make six figures that wear a suit and tie and a nice clothes to work, or you know, women's pantsuit, whatever. And UBS is laying off a bunch of people. Let's see. Amazon and Target are sending young and experienced workers into an unwelcoming market. And any president's going to face this. Any president is going to face this. This president and the next one. And, you know, these trends will continue. So let's look at this article here from the Wall Street Journal. Amazon.com this week said it would cut 1,400 corporate jobs with plans to eliminate as much as 10% of the white-collar workforce eventually. The shareholders will love that. The billionaires that don't work, that you know, and so they're giving money and they're buying back their stock and they're laying off workers. This has gone on for decades. This went on in the 90s, the 2000s, the Great Recession. It continues. Technology's driving it, and we should be aware of it. AI is great, but it's a double-edged sword. So here, let's go back here. Let's go back. There, we'll cross the street here. We're at Oak Street and Michigan Avenue. We're heading to work here. Paramount lays off thousands of workers, including at CBS. These are top stories from the Wall Street Journal. OpenAI's promise to stay in California helped clear the path for its IPO. See, AI is dominating every headline from the Wall Street Journal. Investors will wait Fed decision. The Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, is going to speak today. And my joke is, and this is a joke, 100% of the market is 100% long, because 100% of the market agrees that Jerome Powell is going to lower interest rates today, because they know if he doesn't lower interest rate, Donald Trump's going to fire him. And Jerome Powell's time's limited anyway, because I think his tenure runs out in spring, and they're already vetting people to replace him at the Federal Reserve. And Jerome Powell was appointed by Trump in his first term, and he served all through Biden's term, and he's served now as the head of Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve, I think it's 1 p.m. Chicago time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, they'll do the rate decision. And if they lower interest rates, watch the stock market rise 1,000 points today, and they'll lay off more workers. And everybody will celebrate the AI bubble, which we'll see if it's a bubble or not. We'll find out really soon. So, headlines from the Wall Street Journal here, October the 29th, 2025. After demolishing the U.S.-China relationship, Trump is rebuilding it his way. So, Trump's still over on his overseas trip there. I saw he met the Emperor of Japan and the new Japanese Prime Minister. The woman, Japan has a female Prime Minister. And I think he wants to meet with the North Korean leader, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And I guess on Thursdays, tomorrow's the big meeting with Xi Jinping from China, and we'll see if there'll be some headlines about some amazing success, or some deal was struck with the terrorists, because it's all choreographed, it's all set up. You know, he's brilliant at what he does. I give him that. He did some amazingly huge tariffs, and then he always rolls them back. Because that's the game. You announce the pain, and then you relieve everybody. Everybody's relieved, and the market goes up. We're not wash, rinse, repeat. Nothing new to see here. Welcome to Chicago. Here's the John Hancock. We're heading to work here on a Wednesday. Thankfully, the winds died down a little bit here. Boeing books nearly $5 billion charge for 777 delays. Huh? I wonder what that is. Did they fine him that? Here's another headline from Wall Street Journal. In crime-worried Memphis, many welcome the National Guard. So, this is from the Wall Street Journal. So, it shows you some people are okay with the National Guard being in cities, other people aren't. We know we're a nation divided. Tennessee's a different situation because it has a Republican governor that allowed the Tennessee National Guard to go into Memphis. The local mayor of Memphis was not so hot about it. See the difference in Illinois? We have both a Democratic governor and a Democratic mayor. And that's why the president earlier this week was talking about using the U.S. military, because he's frustrated by the courts are not allowing him to do unconstitutional things. Imagine that. We had to destroy the courts to save the courts. That's my joke. Israel says ceasefire is back after Gaza strikes. Isn't that convenient? They did a bunch of strikes, killed 100 people, and then they said the ceasefire is back on. Even after they broke the ceasefire, they had to break the ceasefire, and now they want to put it back on after they killed 100 people. That's very convenient. That's very convenient, isn't it? That's what kind of ceasefire works that way, where you can just, oh, we got a ceasefire, and then we lob a bunch of missiles, and that ceasefire's off for 5 minutes, now it's back on. That's not a ceasefire. That's not a ceasefire. You don't win Nobel Peace Prize for ceasefires like that. let's bomb some more boats near Venezuela. You know, oh, they're criminals. Prove it. No, they're dead. Well, what if we got the wrong guy? It doesn't matter. They're dead. We blew up their boat. What if it was some fishermen from Colombia? Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're not breaking international law. We're just killing people. We're just killing people in the ocean. Let's move the aircraft carrier down there. I saw there's an aircraft carrier in the South China Sea too, and that's why we lost some of the planes there, or they were doing exercises. But here's the water tower. In less than a month, they'll do the light up Michigan Avenue. The Saturday before Thanksgiving, that's when they light the Christmas tree in Millennium Park, and that's where they light up the lights. So they have the parade with the Disney characters. We covered it last year. We covered it from Oak Street. One of the years we actually got Santa Claus coming down Santa Claus Lane in front of the water tower. So hey, thanks for tuning in here. Welcome to Chicago. We'll head down Michigan Avenue. We'll head to work here on a Wednesday. Thanks, Lang. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, I'm just reading the headlines from the Wall Street Journal there. We talk about how cities intersects with economy and culture and connects with the rest of the world and politics and things going on in the world. I know not everybody wants to talk about politics, but we have to. If we don't talk about politics, we act like everything's all right, and not everything's all right. Things are never all right. Or it's a constant state of flux, chaos, just like the weather. When we talk about the weather, we'll talk about the weather this winter. People ask if I live stream in the wintertime. Yeah, we've been live streaming 52 weeks a year, unless I'm on vacation. We live stream about 50 weeks a year, including wintertime. Sometimes I take breaks during the holidays. A few days breaks. We still find a way to stream when we're in Texas or Indiana or Cincinnati or something. We're in Chicago. We're on Michigan Avenue. Thanks for tuning in here. We got 7:43 in the a.m. We got October the 29th, 2025. We're going past Neiman Marcus, Michigan Avenue. We got the Mums. Nice seasonal displays. They're starting to put lights on the trees, both in the Lincoln Park Zoo, and I saw in Millennium Park they were putting, or even on our walk. Where was that at? They were putting lights on the trees. And there's the Saks Fifth Avenue. We went by Neiman Marcus. Hey, there's the One Chicago Tower. Yeah, Krista. George. Yeah. Yeah, Chicago loves you, George. Thanks for tuning in there. In video rail gaming. How you doing? So here's this sugar. You still get some candy for Halloween. We'll cover on Friday, 2 days from now. This Friday, we'll head up to Lakeview, North Halstead, Boys Town. They have a Halloween parade. $4,000 worth of costume prizes. They always have the best costumes, at least in Chicago. One of the top 10 Halloween costume parades in the nation. Not as good as New York, but we try. New York has a good one in the village there, Greenwich Village or East Village, wherever they have theirs. But usually they'll do the there'll probably be some variation of the Michael Jackson Thriller zombie dance. They did it last year, which was great. We got it. I was way back in the crowd, but we still found a way to get it. Hey, here's people getting out of the hospitals here, people in the scrubs here, which is great. See all the people in the blue scrubs. The shifts change. We got all the hospitals over here. So thanks everybody that works in the hospital industry there, doctors, nurses, people that work in the hospital, first responders, people that clean up, lab technicians, big people that work in the offices, and There it is. Yeah, we'll sing the Candy Bubblegum Rock. People waiting for the bus here. Very nice. Honey, honey. Yeah, yummy, yummy, yummy. I got love in my tummy. Was that amazing? They took like commercial jingles and made them top 40 pop hits, and that's essentially what bubblegum rock was. And then it became pop music, you know. And here, look at that. There's a giant squirrel. Yeah, we're in front of the Nike Town Converse store, Michigan Avenue. We got the mums, we got the corn frogs. There's the Red Bull. We went by the Harry Potter store. There's the Harry Potter store. There's the giant Starbucks. The Disneyfication of Michigan Avenue continues. We'll have to go by the Rock Bottom there on State Street. They're doing a Formula One themed racing simulation bar, I think, where you can get a drink and play virtual racing games or something. There's supposed to be a magic store that's going to go not the Water Reclamation District. The next block where the lorries used to be, there's supposed to be a magic themed restaurant. That would be really interesting. We'll see. We'll keep you posted if anything comes to fruition there. Hubert tipped me off to that. So here, Michigan Avenue. Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, Michael Jackson Thriller, Yonkers. Hey, thanks for tuning in from Yonkers there. Yeah, north of the Bronx there. Yeah, thanks for tuning in there, New York State. Beautiful area up the Hudson River Valley. I've taken the Amtrak through there. I've taken it from Albany down the Hudson several times. You go into Penn Station. That's such a beautiful, you go across that bridge there, the East River, where it divides the northern end of Manhattan. There's a big hill there, and you come into Manhattan that way, and then you go into the tunnel. Has anybody watched, it came out around 1999. There was a documentary about the people that lived in those tunnels, the Amtrak approach tunnels to Penn Station in Manhattan on the upper, the Morningside Heights area of the upper west side. And that was back in 99. They tapped into the electricity, and they had like a shanty town that was in the tunnels there. They were living down there, this whole community of people. They made a movie about it. And I know we saw tent encampment cities after the pandemic in this city and other cities, and that's what reminded me of that. So very interesting. But here's Michigan Avenue. We're at Ohio Street here by the 605 Michigan Avenue. Hey, there's La Katrina here. I missed La Katrina, so let's go back while we're waiting for the light to change. We got 20 seconds here. So here's the back side of La Katrina. We'll walk around here, and then we'll cross the street. So we got Dia de los Muertos is coming up, November the 1st. Ernie, Chicago Nuggies, has some great content. He was down in Pilsen this past weekend, and they had a Dia de los Muertos festival there, that park there by the Mexican Museum of Art. And then Ernesto also found somebody had their yard over the top amazing display of Dia de los Muertos decorations and candles and pictures of loved ones, and he timed it to music and edited it, so it's a great video. So I posted that to my repost there. I think I'll try, maybe I'll forward it to everybody if you haven't seen it, in the Brian Riley Chicagoans. I also sent the Brian Riley Chicagoans a message about people in that chat group that Diana started, that about the TikTok only VIP content. Maybe I'm exploring there, so there'll be more information coming about that. Give me your feedback, direct message me if you think that's a good idea or not. I'm not trying to fleece people for money. It's just a way for me. I'm struggling what to do with my TikTok account that I'm gonna probably continue to live stream on YouTube, but we still find a way to transfer content over there. And I don't want to get kicked out of the Creator Fund. I don't want to break their terms and conditions, so I'm kind of limited what I can do on TikTok because they don't like my content. They keep saying my content's low quality. Why does TikTok tell me my content's low quality when people tune in and, you know, they just don't want to pay me? They want to keep kicking me out of the Creator Fund because they're cheap and they'd rather buy back their stock and then send the money to Larry Ellison than to send it to me. And they just want to use my content to sell advertising to you. And I can't guarantee what advertising they're going to serve up to you, you know. It'll be like an advertisement for joining ICE or something. I don't want to be a part of that, you know. So thanks for tuning in here. Welcome to Chicago. Here we'll head down Michigan Avenue and Intercontinental Hotel. Michael Hars. So we got Michael Rodriguez, we got D. Michael. Thanks everybody for tuning in here. I appreciate it. Yeah, Elder. The D. Michael's house we go. Yeah, D. Michael, we're all going to show up there in the Mojave Desert. We're going to have a big Burning Man on your front yard there. Wouldn't that be nice? We'll have Burning Man at D. Michael's in the Mojave Desert. That'd be nice. You can tell us jokes. It'd be a good time. There's all kinds of things we can do. We're the Pied Piper of the AI age. But here we're almost to work. Here's where we'll focus on the beautiful skyscrapers here. This is the most scenic point besides Lake Michigan of my whole morning commute here, where we go by the Tribune Tower here and the Wrigley Building, and we cross the Chicago River, and we got these vintage classic skyscrapers here in the morning here with the morning sun hitting. A beautiful day. We're about 50 degrees. They're working, look, they're chiseling. They're working on the Tribune. They're chiseling the mortise. They're tuck pointing. They're gonna fix the mortise there on top of that window frame. And they got scaffolding around the entry to the Tribune Tower here, Chicago, Illinois. This was built in 1925, or started in 1925. Took them a while to complete it. And there's the Wrigley Building, built in the early 1920s. And some of these ones across the way were built in the late 1920s. The 333 North Michigan, the London House, the Mather Tower, and the Jewelers Building. It used to have a clear view to the top of the Carbide and Carbide, but it's blocked by that residential building, but we can still see it when we walk further down Michigan Avenue. There's the MDC Tower. There's where Jerry Springer used to film a show. There's the Wrigley Building. The Trump Tower's behind it there. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. We got 50 degrees. October the 29th, 2025. We're almost to Halloween. We've been checking out Halloween decorations. And here's the Apple Store. And we got 7:52 in the AM. Good morning. How you doing? See, I wonder what they're doing. They got a boom over there. They had the Wendella blocked off. There's that sky bridge. Hey, it looks like they're setting up some tables here. They had some pumpkin carving thing in the 401, but they wouldn't let me in there. So it's going to get windy when we walk across the river. I see the flags are straight out, so be prepared for some wind in the Windy City here. But hey, look at that beautiful view. Good morning. How you doing, everybody? Thanks for tuning in here. Welcome to Chicago. I hope you're having a good morning here. Hey. There's Jean-Baptiste Pointe de Sable. He's back. They cleaned him up there. Joliet Marquette, Native Americans. Hey, see, we're in an endless loop. We're in the endless loop. Endless love. Here's the flag. So we got the American flag, the Chicago flag, the Illinois flag. Not everybody's familiar with the Chicago flag. It's the one with the 4 red 6-pointed stars and the 2 blue bars there. It's for the 2 branches of the Chicago River, the 3 sides of the city, northwest and south. We got an east side, but it's part of the south side. And here's the Chicago River. It's looking towards the lake. Here's the Chicago River looking the other way. There's the Trump Tower, second tallest building in Chicago, 1,200 feet tall. There's the Wrigley Building. We're walking across the Sabo, Michigan Bridge. Pretty windy this morning. Hey, it's getting us ready for winter time. We got wind chills. We were 50 degrees, with the wind chill, it's 40 degrees. Feels like 40. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, beautiful view. Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, T-Line, T-Time Elder. Thanks, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Chicago. So here, we got time here. We won't cross the street here because we're spinning around here. We got 7:54 in the AM. So the wind blew this gate closed. Sometimes they close it in the wintertime, but I think the wind just took it and blew it. This is Wacker Drive. There's the St. Regis. Here's the Chicago Architecture Center. This is a Mies van der Rohe building, one of his last ones. There's the 333 Michigan, the London House. You can see over to the Marina Towers, the Trump Tower. This is the Wrigley Building. Look at the sun. Look at the sun hitting the top. Those flying buttresses. Look at that big tower. It's pretty windy here, but the people that live there, they have access to the top. And here we'll head over this Michigan Avenue. We just walked. There's the River Walk. It's where you catch your architectural tour boats. We'll wait to cross the street here. Hey, look at that. Manifest Destiny. Look at the flags. Look at that. Yeah. There we go. We got the light. Right across. Yeah, Doreen, how you doing there? Hey, gotta laugh. Good. It's good. It's good to laugh. We need to laugh more. Love and laughter. Got a little whirlwind. See, this is where Fort Dearborn, the historic site of Fort Dearborn. Here's Fannie Mae chocolates below the Blackhawk store. You got the Fannie Mae Chicago local candy makers there. Get your Jelly Belly. Here's the Blackhawks. Chicago Blackhawks defeated the Ottawa Senators last night, 7-3. The Blackhawks won. They got a winning record. It's better. They're off to a better start this season, the Chicago Blackhawks, than last year. There's the Mather Tower. There's the Citizen M. This is Michigan Avenue. There we got a nice view to the top of the Carbide and Carbon building. That's Gold Leaf up there. And I reposted that video of the nice couple from England. All these Americans were telling them not to come to Chicago. It's crime. You wouldn't like it. They came. They had a good time. They were like, we don't understand why so many Americans bash Chicago. We came here. We had a good time. You know. And they saw the top of the Carbide and Carbon. They said they saw it from their architectural tour boat, and they said, these people have hundreds of thousands of followers. They're major influencers throughout the world. They're promoting Chicago as a good place to visit, and they're not from the United States. You know, and we need to seize upon this. And they said that's Gold Leaf. They were amazed with the architecture. You know, the quality of the buildings. You know, and this is part of America. We should be proud of it. You don't have to like our politics. Like our architecture. You know, you can like the Bears. You don't have to like Brandon Johnson. It's okay, you know. We're over it. We don't, you know, we just want to be part of America. You know, America is not all the same. We're not a monolithic culture. You know, Chicago has its own problems, you know. We don't want to give Chicago's problems to you either, trust me. We got major debt. We got major crime. And we got major... But hey, we're going to head to work. Have a great day. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully the government shutdown will end next week when the president returns from his foreign trip. Seems like he'd rather do a deal with Xi than do a deal with Congress, so we know what's going on. That's just my opinion. I know you might think different. That's fine. Thanks for tuning in here on YouTube. I'll give you more information about the VIP TikTok option. It'll just cost I'll make it the lowest price possible for a subscription, and we can do some sub-only lives on TikTok. Thanks for tuning in here on YouTube. We'll see you later today at noon. We'll see before noon. I might try to sneak out. You know, I'll work my 40 hours this week, but I might do a longer lunch live today to do the bridge lift, and then we'll make up the hours as we usually do. So hey, thanks everybody. We'll see you later. And oh, they're filming. They're filming for Chicago Fire. So we knew this was going on. I checked after I got out of work yesterday to see if they were filming for Chicago Fire. So at lunchtime, if this is still going on, we'll see if we can get closer to, they're filming for Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med on Lake Street, east of Michigan Avenue. There's active filming going on here for Chicago Fire, and we'll see how close we can get. I'll give you a sneak peek. We might post this so people can know this is going on. They're filming for Chicago Fire. How you doing? How you doing? Appreciate it. So here, we just walked to work. We're going to work this way. How you doing? Morning. How you doing? So here, they're filming for Chicago Fire here. They're using extras. They're using real Chicago Fire Department equipment here. We're under the Prudential Building here, 1 and 2. This is Lake Street, and we'll head through here. And we'll show you what's going on. So at lunchtime, if they're still doing this, we'll come back here. So here, we'll head across the street here. Okay, I'm on the sidewalk. I'm on the sidewalk. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I thank you for your concern. I appreciate it. So here, we'll walk. I got to deal with ice. Now we got to deal with this. I appreciate it. Thank you. So here's Chicago Fire. How you doing? I'm on the sidewalk. Thank you, sir, or ma'am, or whoever you are. Here we go. Here's the Chicago Fire, and they're doing filming here on Lake Street. I'm gonna head to work. I work in this building. I have a pass to work in this building. I appreciate it. Thank you. So here, we'll head down around here, and we'll be able to film it from the windows from my office. We'll be able to look down and film it from above without being, you know, I know that people are just doing their job. They're making sure people stay on the sidewalk. So here's Chicago Fire. They're doing some filming here. Chicago Fire Department. Hey, look, see, it looks like a wreck. This is not a real wreck. They're using this for the Chicago Fire. Here's some of the... How you doing? Okay, you can see a live... You can come here and see a live taping. There's I appreciate it. Thank you. I work in this building. I'll be back at lunch, so thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for doing your job. I appreciate it. So here, we'll head around. Here, I'm going to zoom in from here. I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to zoom in here. Look at this. Very nice. I'm on corporate property. I work in this building. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll go talk to the security. I'll see if they're okay. I'll ask. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So here they're talking. The police are talking to security. I want to talk to them too. I want to see. I want to make sure what they will allow and what no one will allow me to do. The police are talking to the security about somebody that. So he's yelling. It's about that guy. There you go. So here we could zoom in. Now I'm far away, so I don't have to be accosted by the people exerting their authority here. So here they're doing the Chicago Fire. Here they're doing the filming here. So I want to talk to the corporate security for my building because they know me, and I want to see what they will allow me to do and won't allow me to do. I'm waiting for the police to stop talking. Right before I was going to talk to the security here, and there, I'll ask him here. If not, I'll go inside here. I want to see what they. Here, I'll ask him. How you doing, sir? I work in this building. I work on the 38th floor. Are we allowed to sit and stand on this thing here? I don't want to stand on it. They were yelling at me that I couldn't stand on here. I'm trying to film the Chicago Fire. Do you mind if I stand on here just to film, or do you rather me not stand on it?
Of course, as much as I enjoy your...
No, that's why I'm asking you, yeah.
But unfortunately, you can't stand on it.
Okay, so can I sit on it? Can I sit on it and film? You don't want anybody sitting on this. That's why I'm asking you.
Oh, you stand on the corner.
Okay. Can I stand in front of it but still be on our property because I work in this building? Can I film this from here? You don't want me to stay here. Okay.
Right, not on the property.
Okay.
Like one inch
now,
on the property.
How about the public sidewalk? Good. Thank you. Good. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I'm allowed to be on the public sidewalk. This is corporate property. This is a public sidewalk. We're allowed to walk. As long as I'm walking, if I stay, they'll probably say something. So we're allowed to walk the public sidewalk. And we'll come back here at lunchtime. This is Chicago Fire. And we'll walk through here. We'll go in the entrance over here. We'll go in the entrance of the building we work in. And we'll just walk down the sidewalk and we'll go past filming for Chicago Fire. Very nice. Look, see, they're filming a scene right here. Look at that. Very nice. And there's Mr. Super A. There's the Hazel Johnson mural there. And that's not a real wreck. They're using that for the filming there. And so here we'll walk up the public sidewalk. And see, it's really weird. Like, you know, corporate space has more restrictions than the public sidewalk. And I went to talk to the security guard. Same with the pedway. They control the pedway. They can kick you and evict you out of the pedway. This side, it's not public. And it's very strange, you know. People can get evicted from the CTA even if they pay for a fare, you know. Hey, we're going to sign off. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back on lunch. We'll see if they're still filming at lunch. We'll talk to you later here. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day from Chicago. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, make it a